Hey guys, today I want to share with you one of the questions that I get a lot, and I just got this question actually yesterday by somebody from New York, and the question is, how do you find a mentor? Or they ask me, hey Diego, I don't know how to find a mentor, how do I do it? So with this is going to be a video explaining that process. And just really quick, the mentors in your life are people that inspire you, that you're looking to learn from. And one of the main things that mentors like is helping people that take action, right? You want to give value to them by showing that you are taking action. If not, for them, it looks like you're just wasting their time. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips about how you can find a mentor. And this is going to be a mentor that is in your area, that's in your city. So number one, you find somebody that you want to learn from in your area of expertise. So the way that you do this is by either connecting people that you listen to in a podcast, or by going to a meetup in your area of expertise in your town. And you can do this by going to meetup.com. And you can put in a specific topic or a subject, right? You can choose real estate, for example, or you can put yoga or whatever thing that you want to learn from. There's meetups on everything. So you go to meetup.com and you find when is the next time that something that you like is going to meet. So you go to that event and you connect with people that are either guests that are coming in as speakers, or people that you want to learn from there, that you might either have seen their website online or something like that. Then what you do is you connect with them through either after they give a speech or while they have everybody connecting and introducing themselves. So even in introductions, because there's usually a time in the beginning of the meetup where everybody just introduces themselves, right? So if let's say that you are wanting to learn about real estate and you hear that somebody says, hey, I'm an investor, I own 10 properties and I'm constantly looking for other properties because I have a goal to get to 50 properties in the next 2 years, right? And if you haven't bought a property yet, or you're a property number one, maybe that's somebody that you may want to meet so that you can learn from them about how you can get your second or your third property, right? So that can be somebody that you connect with that can later become your mentor. So during this event, you might get a time to either connect with other people, and what you should do is tell them a little bit about yourself, tell them where you're at right now, and tell them that while you heard their introduction or you heard their speech, that it really connected with you, and if you can get a business card from them, or if they don't have a business card, you can get their email, right? So that is one of the ways. And then you tell them like, hey, I'm going to send you an email and see if maybe I can get you a cup of coffee and I can learn a little bit from you, and you can tell me your story because in your introduction, you really inspired me, right? So that's what you do. Then the next day or that same night, actually, if you already told them that you're going to be sending them an email, or maybe you told them I'll send you a text, what you do is you actually send them the email that same day. And you tell them, hey, I met you at the meetup about X, and then you tell them something that you shared with them so that they remember what you actually spoke about, whether it was yoga or real estate or whatever. And you tell them that if you can just take 15 to 30 minutes from their time, you will love to hear a little bit more about your story, about their story, so that you can learn from them and maybe take some action, right? And then the next thing is, once you set up an appointment or an actual time to meet up later that week or in 2 weeks, when you set up that time, and before I mention anything else, sometimes these guys, they may be really busy, right? So make sure that you give them 3 to 4 days or something to return to your email. To answer your email. You don't want to be like, getting very antsy and be like, oh man, they didn't respond to my email in 24 hours. Maybe they're just ignoring me, or maybe they don't care, right? What you have to do is be persistent. So in 3 days or 4 days that they haven't responded, I would send them another email. Sometimes all that they need is just a refresher, right? Because they might see your email and they might be walking into a meeting and then they might forget to respond. So you just want to send them a refresher so that it goes back into the top of their inbox. So let's say that you set up the meeting with them and you go and get a cup of coffee, right? At that meeting, you tell them where you are at that moment and what you want to accomplish. You tell them that, again, that they inspire you with your story, and if they can share more about them so that you can learn from them. After they're done sharing their story, then you tell them yours and you ask them what is one thing that that you as a mentee can do so that you can take action. And they will actually tell you, right? Whether it is reading a book, whether it is listening to a podcast, or just an action step that they recommend. Then you finish your meeting, and in the next couple of days, you actually take the action. And then you tell them and then you send them an email or send them a text, and you let them know that you actually took the action and what you learned from it. Because what you want to do is you want to make sure that you are taking action on what they're saying, so that they don't actually feel like you wasted their time. Also, during that meeting, what you also want to do is ask them how you can help them. Now that they've spent 15 or 30, maybe an hour, 15 minutes or an hour with you, you actually also want to offer a way to give them value back, right? So maybe they say, I would love to get a connection with this person, or hey, I'm trying to get more sales on a book, if they have a book, and then maybe you can take a picture with him and the book and share it on your social media, something of value that you can do in the future for them. And so respond to that email after you've taken action on what they recommended for you to do. Respond to that email and let them know that you have actually taken action on those steps. You can tell them what you learned from that, as I was talking about earlier, and maybe you want to set up a second meeting to see what is a second step that you can take, or you can just send them an email about that too. There can be also a question that you ask them in that email. Hey, what is something that your business might need help with, right? So that you can continue that giving back, because you want to give back to that mentor that is teaching you. So if they say, hey, I'm actually, maybe one of the things that you're good at is technology, and that person may not be as good. So you can give them a tip on how to be more efficient, or maybe in their social media post, or something that may have to do with technology. And then what I would say is, if at some point they come to you and they tell you, hey, I actually need help maybe 2 to 3 hours a week on this area, at that point I would recommend that maybe you go out and help them and spend 2 to 3 hours a week and do something that is work to learn, right? So you're working to learn about how to become that person that at that point may have a more successful business than you do, or may have achieved the things that you've done. And this is something that I talk about with my brother Gonzalo all the time, work to learn. And at some point, in the beginning, is something that you have to do so that you can learn from somebody else that has that experience, right? One of my mentors, David Osborne, he says that you should work for either equity or for knowledge. And in the beginning, I've worked for a lot for knowledge as much as I could with other people, and trading my time for that knowledge. And actually later, while I did this with a mentor of mine, we are now business partners, and now I have equity in the business in that sense. And so it really works. And I described a little bit about how it works with a mentor that you meet it through Meetup, but you can also do it with somebody in a podcast. works the same way. You can reach out to them on Facebook or on Twitter or Instagram and ask them to meet you at a coffee shop. All right, so I hope this helps you. Take care. Again, this was on the topic on how to find a mentor. If you have any questions, comment below or send me an email at info@diegocorso.com or just ping me on Facebook. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.